first day of the rest of your lives, Arizona State students.
No pressure.
It's moving day across the street over at ASU. All those bright-eyed, bushy-tailed freshmen showing up for the first time, trying to move their stuff in. Yeah. I brought a TV. You brought a TV. What are we going to do with two TVs in our dorm room?
I got
a couple of wild guys we're gonna be.
microwaves.
Thanks to them, I was late to work.
Yeah,
they blocked off the street.
I don't think that was the reason you were late to work.
Yeah, blame it on the college
Dang it,
kids.
don't say it, Rachel.
I had to make the block too. I was 2 minutes late.
I drove right around those construction barrels yesterday. I'm not going to lie. I was like, moving day's
quiet.
not till tomorrow.
Nobody's awake when we come in.
This morning, we want to share your little nuggets
Those
of
hopeful
wisdom for those
faces.
cheery Arizona State students, guys. If you could talk to the college version of yourself and share one little nugget of advice as you start out in the real world, what would it be? Leave it in the comments section and we'll share it with everybody this morning. We've had some fantastic responses.
Wait, but I love Tracy's. It says call your mother once a week and ask about her week.
There you go. That's good human advice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I
And
love
do
it.
that after you graduate
after
too.
college.
Yeah.
Not everyone's
talk to my mom
taking
every
it
day.
so seriously. Jason says, it's a trap. Run.
That's my favorite response.
Beth recommends you just be kind to people. That's, again, good human
Yeah.
advice.
I like Patrick. If you get it, see a doctor and get rid of it.
Oh, no.
Thank goodness for health centers.
I mean, okay, it's funny, but like real talk.
That is
college
true.
campuses
You're
have
right.
health centers for that kind of thing. You don't have to embarrass the family
Very
doctor with
anonymous.
it. Something happens.
Just be
Take care of
safe. Wrap it up. That's it.
I like
it.
Peggy.
Go one step further.
I gotta tell you,
Steve
do
says,
it.
be safe, watch where you are at all times, be aware of your surroundings. It's a good piece of advice.
Be aware of your surroundings.
Lori says no parties.
Hey.
Some parties. Just
Let's
keep
not
it on
get
the
Gotta have
crazy,
some fun.
Lori.
It's college.
Yeah, Peggy says, though, remember why you're there as you're going to a select few
Yeah, I think
parties.
Peggy texted in this morning to share a similar sentiment. She's like, remember you're there for school, not to have fun.
Wait a minute. What did Chris says don't date a chick with a student loan.
What?
Chris?
But they're in college.
There's a story behind that somewhere.
Yeah, right?
Anthony says, enjoy your debt. Julie says, don't stay with your parents, go to community college.
Yeah, a lot of people saying just don't go to school. It's probably
Helps
too
get
late
you
for those guys
acclimated
now.
for change. It costs a lot less.
A lot of people recommending you to become a tradesman. That's true. You
That's
can make a
good
good
too.
living doing that.
Yeah.
Don't apply for every credit card, says Tommy.
Oh my gosh,
Sage
that is so
advice.
true. Because I got one of those MasterCards that comes, I didn't even apply for it. It just came in the mail like
Lucky
my
you.
senior year. Biggest mistake ever. It had 26% interest.
That's a lot.
I did not read the fine print. Nobody
Well, they
told
get
me.
you when you're young, right? It's like $500, and of course, $500 when
clue.
you're young, you just blow it like
Are
that.
you still paying for it?
Oh my gosh, no, but I was well into my second job before I paid it off because I was using it primarily at like Taco Cabana and places like that. So I paid a lot of interest on tacos.
Lori's got some great advice here, too. She says everyone has a different path. Things might not go as planned, and that is okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
That
if
is-
things
that is
become a little
true.
overwhelming, don't feel like you have to stick with it just because.
Yeah.
It's okay to change your major too.
Yeah, that's another
Once
good
you
point.
start. I did that.
Yeah, that for sure. Don't feel tied to a major.
Here's one for me, just personally. Tip your delivery drivers. And the reason I bring this up is because sometimes kids going off to college have never had to worry about that kind of thing before.
Oh, yeah.
Mom and dad handling most of the meals. They don't know what, like, common courtesy is all about. And so we have a lot of food service places around here, especially with Uber Eats and DoorDash, but even just pizza places and sub shops.
Yeah.
Tip the delivery drivers. That is common practice. Doesn't have to be a lot. $2, $3. As a former delivery driver myself, I used to
Nice.
deliver to college campuses, and I would say like 90% of them
Don't
wrote
tip.
0 as a tip. And I don't think it was like a malicious thing. I don't think the kids were all purposefully mean. I just think they didn't know.
Yeah.
So word to the wise, tip your delivery drivers. Someone that handles your food, give them a couple extra bucks.
Don't let your colorblind roommate dye your hair.
Oh,
Wait a second. I feel like that's
tell
a
us
whole
about
different
this.
another
story.
story.
Like it's
behind
gonna
this.
be cheaper, but in the end, you do have to eventually pay. I came up. I was like, I want midnight blue hair.
Oh, wow.
And my hair is down to my waist, whole, all sausage curls, right? I'm like, oh, midnight blue sounds like a great idea junior year. So I let my roommate do it, but colorblind and missed a few spots.
Oh no.
So it was like a polka dot, but this is pre-ombre, so it was just like a bad overall look. And of course, my mother promptly told me when I came home, I had to go get it fixed.
Yeah.
Or shave your head.
Well, I wasn't going to do that, but
Right.
I did have to go get the whole thing.
Wow.
right.
It sounds like
It's
college
terrible.
was a real adventure for you.
It was. I enjoyed my time, Paul Gerke. I'm going to tell you that much.
Yeah.
But my advice I would give to myself also, the serious advice was don't be in such a hurry. I don't know why I was in such a hurry to get out and get a job and graduate. Like, we didn't have gap years back then. That was not like an option at all. So I wish I had known that was.
I wish I had taken a year as well.
Maybe taking a year to
in
figure yourself
retrospect.
out,
Yeah.
to do a little bit more, see a little bit more.
I didn't really know what I was getting into. I wasn't ready
Right.
for the college experience when I left high school, because your senior year is a little different than your other years in high school. You're looking a lot forward. You know, you're trying to figure out what's next for you, and you're trying to enjoy your last year with your classmates, right? And then school starts in August. You're moving in, and all of a sudden it's like it's an entirely different cup of tea.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand how student life worked. I didn't understand where to meet people or how to meet them. I didn't understand what it meant to live in a dorm with someone I'd never met before. I wish that I had just taken a year, and who knows, I'm such a procrastinator, maybe I wouldn't have been any better off, but perhaps I would have learned a little more about what to expect.
I wish I would have considered it. Like, I didn't even consider it as an option.
I didn't either.
What advice do you guys have for the college kids?
My advice is the exact opposite. I got a major and a minor in 3 years. I'm all about
Yeah, you're a
getting
freak,
it.
though.
Yeah.
I'm all about. I'm telling
You're
you,
a freak.
summer.
In a good way.
Guys, if you can get a whole semester done in a winter, summer, I mean,
Yeah.
they just cram it all, and it's super awesome. And you're like a few weeks, and you're like done with that
That is a
credit.
good tip.
That's the selling
I'm telling
point.
you.
The summer classes and
Yes,
the winter
and the
classes?
winter
I did.
ones. You're nonstop, but you know what? It's just get it done, and in 3, and then I ended up going back for another degree. But it's like, so I'm a little bit of a nut. I'm a little
You love
straight
school.
A student,
Yeah.
goody two shoes. But I'm telling you, it really pays off, and getting it done, knocked out.
And those courses are so condensed in the
Yes.
summertime too. I think a lot of students probably fare better in those classes.
I
They
think
cut through the crap,
Yeah,
get to what
that's
you
true.
need.
Yeah.
It's a lot more, you're a lot more engaged
Yes.
too, because I know you realize you only have, like, I would take anytime there's a Thanksgiving break or a Christmas break, I was always taking another class just to get it done. And then that weeds out a lot of the classes where we had like 200 people in English class. You could do it in like 3 weeks, you know, or 2 weeks, which was nice.
One more
recommend
thing,
it.
just from my own personal experience too. School is not for everyone, and I was a truant. I went to class so rarely. I would say my attendance in
gosh.
college was probably like 50% at
Really?
best, which is so stupid because I'm paying for
You're
it.
paying for it,
I'm
yeah.
still
Hello.
paying for
So
it.
am I.
In retrospect, I would have done that differently. But if you have trouble getting to class, and I know there are a lot of people like me, especially in college, where there are better things to do, please give online classes a serious look, because I really learned the beauty of the online classes. It really wasn't as prevalent of a thing when I was in
Yeah.
school, and they probably didn't exist at all when you were in school.
I did one. I didn't fare well
See,
in it.
yeah, it was
Because I'm
still
a
very early.
procrastinator.
They've got it figured out now, though.
Yeah.
And if getting to class is a problem, try to take a few online classes, and you'll be shocked at how much better it fits that sort of personality. My last year and a half of school, I was almost all online classes,
Wow.
and I was way better of a student than I was when I was missing class.
It's hard to be. I was booking too many of those like 8 a.m., 7
Yeah,
a.m.
that's a
labs.
mistake.
That was a mistake. Shouldn't have
My
done
thing
that.
is, I wish, so for mine it's different. Like, so my parents were very strict and they made me live at home.
I
So
did too.
I always say if
Yeah.
I could go back, I would live on campus
Yep.
to experience
full experience.
the full experience of college life and, you know, hanging out with your friends. And it's like, and then I had the same boyfriend from high school. And because they kept me, like, you know, trapped. So I was like, man, if I would have, you know, lived on campus, I think I would have broadened my horizon, experienced
Yeah.
new things, met new people, you know.
That's part of the whole life change. It's not just, you know, new classes and a new life, but it's totally new social circuit. You're
Yes.
meeting people from all over the country sometimes, or the world. So it's like that full experience. So that's why I like that a lot of colleges require people to live on campus the first year.
I think that's a great
Because then it
idea.
kind of forces you to at least try that experience. It may not be for you. It may, you know, a lot of times it helps rule out the whole roommate experience. You might figure out, you know what, I'm not someone who needs roommates or whatever. But at least you know after you get the 1 year of being part of student life, because I think that's super important. At least 1 year of that.
Lori says she runs a group called ASU Moms, and she recommends you hug your mom before you head out to school. Give her a nice hug.
Tell her thank you.
I love that. Those tips. Also, just be polite to people in general. I was at the airport, you know, this past weekend, and there was some younger college girls, and they did not care. They were just like walking in front of people. They were talking loud. Like, I was like, what happened to
Social
being polite?
tact. They don't know it yet. They'll learn it.
Like, just be polite. Please excuse me. Go ahead. You know.
This is another good one too. Michael says, "Don't go into debt. Try to pay for school in cash." I know that's not an option for a lot of people, and they got to take on student loans. But I think the lesson that Michael is trying to pass along here is be mindful of the debt you're accruing, because I didn't realize as a college student just how quickly that money adds up until that first bill comes due, and you're like, "I'm sorry, what?"
Yeah, it's real money.
It is real. It
crazy?
will be real eventually. It may not
Yes.
feel now, but it will feel real eventually.
Like, I'm still paying for my student loan.
Yeah,
I've been
same.
out for a while.
Yeah.
You know? It's crazy.
Charles recommends you get a job. I loved working through school too.
Yeah.
Even though it does make classes a little harder to get to, having some extra money and also socializing with your peers in a job outside of school, I think that's important too. That's a good tip.
I like Jack and Sue. Jack says, keep your pants on.
Oh, yes.
And Sue says, coffee at McDonald's is only $1.
And it's better, in my opinion, than some other major chains who charge $6 for that same cup.
This is a smart one from Donna, too. Remember this time in your life, the real world awaits you. Your life lessons are graded on a whole other scale. Yeah. That is a really smart point because a lot of what I learned in college had nothing to do with what I was finding in textbooks. It's real life skills. It's time management skills. It's social skills. And sometimes it's how to beg, borrow, and steal your way out of a tough situation. I completely forgot I had an exam one day. How do I convince
I
the
still have that
professor
dream.
I didn't forget?
Yes.
Yeah. No, but seriously, like interactive negotiating skills and like learning how to make things up. I mean, that's real life stuff. You know, you're going to find yourself in a pinch in the real world. You got to know how to talk yourself out of it sometimes.
Yeah. Also, internships. I always tell people that, you know, if you have the time, sometimes it may be just shadowing someone who you know who does this job that you're even slightly remotely interested in. Shadow them for like a couple days. It is so worthwhile rather than spending 2 years in a major that you later find out, you know what, I really hate this.
Communications.
Don't want to do this the rest of your life. So yeah, I feel to me, shadowing and internships was so valuable. Oh my gosh, because you get to kind of walk in their shoes and see if you really want to do this. And it's just as valuable as a rule out as it is as a rule in for careers.
All right, we're going to share some more of your responses in just a minute. But first, let's take a break for our ICYMI. If you didn't watch Today in AZ this morning from 4:30 till 7 on 12 News, you may have missed an exciting little segment that also involved us getting a free breakfast.
Yum.
Kyler Murray wore to the NFL draft when he was picked number 1. That red suit looking sharp.
Oh, nice.
Oh, come on. We're not putting this in the show, are we?
And apparently our boy Paul really likes his Special K so much. Special K tweeted back. How did this happen, Paul?
So I like breakfast cereal. It's good for breakfast. It's good for a snack.
Yeah.
Special K makes a whole bunch of kinds that I like, including, what is going on?
Oh, we get
to try it.
I'm serious. I did not know about this. So this is this here. Let me see that.
Okay.
Here, the box.
Get you some milk.
Yeah. So this is the cinnamon pecan version. So they changed the recipe, but they don't tell you that they changed the recipe on the box. But I can tell it's different because I eat this stuff all the time. This is way crunchier in the milk now, and it's got more cinnamon. And I was enjoying a bowl the other night. Right before I went to bed.
That is good.
Because I love to eat right before I go to sleep. That's what doctors say you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
And I just felt like I needed to let the people at Special K know they were doing something right. You know, people complain online all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this, I hate that. I want to let the people at Special K know I see what you did with the cereal and I appreciate it.
Well, they
And they took
appreciated it.
back. Thank you, Special K. We're friends now.
Thumbs up, Paul.
Yeah.
And that was good. I never
It
had that
was
before.
good
You said you were
cereal.
going to try to trick the boys into eating instead of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I don't let them have it during the school year because it's too much sugar. But that was really good. I was reading the box. It was good.
Yeah,
and
it's
it
better
tasted
than Cinnamon Toast
very
Crunch for
similar.
you. It's still not great for you, but it is.
I ate the whole bowl. I felt bad because like every time we come back, I'm like eating, and then I'm like, oh, I got to do my report, so I better like.
I know.
not
I
have any
tripped
food in
over
my
a
mouth.
couple words. Even after Paul put his filthy fingers in mine, I still continued to eat the whole
Hey, I
bowl.
washed my hands twice during the show. I'm good.
I hope I got you after one of the recent washes.
Yeah, right?
When do you think it changed? Because I used to get that box among many other Special Ks, and it's even better.
I know
and
exactly.
crunchier.
I know exactly when it changed, which shows
Yeah.
what a cereal nerd I am. So, like, okay, real talk here. I'm not shilling for the brand. I'm not shilling for any particular retailer. But if you buy the big box at Walmart, it's like $3.88, and you get the value size. But if you buy it anywhere else, it's way smaller, and it's like $5 a box. So I always wait, and I make a cereal run to Walmart, where I will buy a box of the fruit and yogurt, a box of the cinnamon pecan, and a box of the vanilla almond. Okay. So I go there to make my cereal run about a month ago. There's no cinnamon pecan on any of the shelves. Just
Yikes.
gone. Gone.
No signage.
I said,
no explanation.
What's happening here? Either there was a run on it or something's amiss. Next time I went back, there were tons of them. I grabbed the box, I pour a bowl when I get home. It's different. What they did was change the recipe. They got rid of the old stock, brought in the new stuff. So it's recent, within the last month.
Even better.
I hope that's why my Special K Nourish cereal boxes are missing currently.
All right, get at Special K. We're tight
Hey,
now.
now they're cool. Yeah, have them feed them.
Bring it
Hey, hook my
I'll
friend
add 'em.
Crystal.
I'm gonna ask him about that
Why is
Nourish.
it missing from my
Nourish.
shelves?
What's going on?
All right, let's get to some fresh squeezed juice before we go back to our school topic this morning.
Do you remember Michelle Williams from Dawson's Creek?
I do not.
Well, I do.
She was married to Heath Ledger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember? Okay, well, she says she's tired of being known as Michelle Williams from Dawson's Creek. She says the hit 90s show is a stain on her career because no one will ever associate her with it.
Or not associated.
Not.
So
Sorry.
I kind of have issue when actors do this because it's like you became famous because of whatever show.
Yeah.
That is the reason you're a household name. So you can't turn around 10 years later and be like, I just want to shake that whole past.
Yeah.
That past made you. And
Yeah.
it's the reason you probably continue to get jobs.
I think a lot of actors and actresses struggle with this. It's a crisis of identity. And
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is one of the more famous ones because once you're Luke Skywalker, you really can't be anything else.
Yeah.
And he had some tough times after the Star Wars series of like trying to find himself. And then I think more
Harrison
recently,
Ford did okay.
Yeah, he did. And I think a lot of actors and actresses do. They are known for multiple things. I mean, look at John Krasinski or Jenna Fisher, those Office personalities that were famous because of The Office. They're always going to be associated with The Office.
For sure.
But they've gone on to do huge things afterwards. And so I think that I understand the identity crisis for sure. But at the same time, like you almost have to get over it. Like
You gotta get
be
over
thankful
it.
that it happened and make your peace somewhere
What
else.
I don't like is sometimes they are very dismissive of fans who approach them because
Oh,
they
yeah.
know that. And I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
you
that's
can't
not
do that.
right. I mean, these people have been following you for decades. They watched you for years. Obviously, that's how they came to know you. I don't like when they're rude to fans because they're like, well, I don't want to be bothered because I was on that show 30 years ago.
Let's say 10
know?
years from now, Vanessa Ramirez is a national personality doing some stuff for ESPN somewhere. Do you think
That's going to be for like E.
Do you
Sorry.
Wrong network.
Yeah.
Oh, well, she's worked for the Diamondbacks. I think
Yeah.
they'd give her a look. But do you think you'd be upset if someone came to you and was like, oh, the traffic girl, oh my gosh, I used to watch you all the time?
No, not
'cause
at
you'd be like,
all.
that was a part of you. It's what put you on the map.
I'd be like, yeah, it was a great time. I learned so much, met so many great
Now I'm
people.
doing something else.
Oh my gosh, for sure.
Now I'm in Hollywood.
Our advice is get over it.
Nice. Yeah, you got to get over it.
Let's get some more advice for the college kids, shall we? Lori says she agrees with your point about internships. And
they're so valuable.
David recommends you buy a house and rent to your friends, and then you can live rent free.
Yeah.
I had one buddy that was smart enough to do this.
Yes, there's
It was
always
a
the
fun
one
house.
guy that
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to have this whole house and have like 8 people living there. But there are always like 12 people sleeping somewhere in that
Boyfriends,
house.
girlfriends, just
Yeah.
a bunch of
But
extra
they're on the
folks.
couches.
Yes.
Natural light cans
That was the
everywhere.
fun house.
Ew, can you imagine that house and how
Oh, it smells bad.
dirty
Oh,
it is?
I still have nightmares of some of the living conditions. Patricia says, stay focused, open-minded, yet not vulnerable to those who want to manipulate. Know your surroundings. Never hurts to ask for help, to comprehend. Yes, stay in touch with family and friends. That's really good advice.
Peggy shared a really interesting story
Yeah.
here. She says she was raised in a strict Italian home where girls don't need education beyond high school, and it took me 15 years to get my BS degree through night school, and I fought for my education, so now I value it. That's an awesome story. Thank you for sharing that with us, and good for you for getting your degree.
Good story. Yeah.
I'm going to say also make great friendships. Like open up to people, make friends. I have one girlfriend that we are still close to this day. And the crazy thing is she ended up being a nun.
Really?
Yes. So
You're
we
friends
were-
with a nun?
Yes, I'm friends with a nun.
How does that work out? Does she give you advice?
And you know, she doesn't judge me.
She just mails her
which
rosaries.
I
But
love.
that's a good nun. They
Yeah.
listen, but no judgment. Just say your Hail Marys and come back next week.
But she's always very, polite. She's like, "Oh, bless you, and I love
Yeah.
you, and you're a great friend." And I'm like, "Yeah," but she doesn't judge me. But it was crazy because her story was she originally went. Her degree, I believe, was in communications as well.
Yeah.
And she was engaged to a police officer here in town, and she had a tattoo. They did a story on her actually here a long time ago, and she had a tattoo, so it was totally a different path, right? And then all of a sudden, she decided that she wanted to become a nun, so she graduated, left the boyfriend.
Joined the convent.
Yeah, they did a big story on her, and she was off in Chicago for years. She came back, and now she's working here.
Wow.
But isn't that crazy? And so we're still very close
Yeah.
to this day. Like I just saw her actually last week at a D-backs game with another nun.
Some of those friendships you make, especially that first year when you're all kind of like, we're in this together situations, they are lifelong friends. And that's so valuable.
A good way to meet those people too, and this is Tommy's advice, join intramurals. You'll meet great people. Even if you're not great at sports, it's just
Oh, they're
fun.
so fun.
Yeah, or even go to the games.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Especially
Yes.
if your school has like some athletics like ASU does. Get out
Oh.
there, go to the game.
Go to a
You're missing out.
GCU basketball
Be
game.
involved in
So much
general.
fun.
Yeah, be involved, and I feel like find your tribe. Whatever your interests are and whatever your hobbies are, whatever. These schools are so big or small. There's always a group that's going to speak to you, and I think once you find your tribe, it makes a big school feel a lot smaller. You got to have your people.
One piece of advice that I just thought of off the top of my head, and I was one of those guys that went in blind my first year in college, so I dormed with somebody I'd never met before, and of course I didn't have the foresight to call him before I just moved in, so I knew nothing about the guy. But we ended up having some things in common, but I would say if you are going in blind, call your roommate. Figure out who's bringing what stuff, what they're into. Maybe bring them a little welcome present or something and get off on the right foot. And be respectful of those people, too. Because that's the thing I think we all forget about. We live in our own little bubbles. We're the star of our own shows. But, like, when
and
you're sharing...
used to, a lot of people used to mom and dad doing the dishes, picking up your laundry or whatever.
But
and
you're sharing a tight space with someone you don't know. Be respectful.
Be respectful. Be a polite roommate.
Yeah. One more from Michelle here. I wish I would have asked more of my professors. I let myself be intimidated because they were my superiors and they were grading me. I needed to remember that I was paying their salary and had the right to question and or require what they need to do to support me. When I went back to school later in life with 2 kids, I had a whole different attitude. That's a good advice, too. And a lot of those professors want to see you succeed. I think they take pride in saying, hey, Vanessa was one of my students. They don't want to see you fail.
Yeah, we had one that worked in this building.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, he's no longer, he doesn't work here anymore, but
he's
he used to run into me. He'd be like, oh, hey, how you doing? And he's still caught up with a lot of his students, knew everything about each one of them, so it's great. I do want to say this, though. Mindy gave you a shout-out. She said, Crystal, you should always wear your hair up. So cute.
Oh, thanks, Mindy.
So cute, she
You're
said.
so sweet. Thanks. When it's 110 plus, ponytail sounds like a great idea.
Especially when it's humid outside.
Thank you.
Stay safe if you are moving in out there today, guys. Drink lots of water. How warm today?
111.
That is a lot of degrees.
Can you do the night move-in where you just do it after sunset?
I know. When's the...
I thought, so we had our cameras
cutoff?
out there like 4:30 this morning. I thought we might catch 1 or 2 really smart kids moving in super early when it was dark, but that's a really early alarm. I don't blame them.
They're still trying to live it up and party before they have to start school.
Last gas.
Stay safe in downtown Phoenix tonight, college kids. I'm going to be looking out for you. I'm going to be doing a patrol, making sure nobody gets in any trouble.
Officer Paul.
Fueled by adult beverages of my own. Time for us to say goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching the Today in AZ
Have a great
After
weekend.
Show. We're back on Monday at 7:30 on this couch.
Woo! If you're at the D-backs game, say hi all weekend long. They're taking on the Giants. Woo!